Disclaimer. We are two regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy.
Straight off the motherfucking internet. Two true hosts talking about the double Glock. Cecil, Johnny. Kick that shit, Feenics.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us.
Now let's roll to the doors back, folks, and get in the podcast.
What's up, guys? Thug Thursday. Cecil West.
John Lippy.
Back at it again. Beyond the Harmony. Beyond the Harmony.
Yeah.
You know, who thought that doing some interviews about some Bone guys and I feel great about what we've done so far in just a couple episodes.
Yeah, this journey is awesome. It's like every day you think you know everything or you think you figured it all out, and then bang, a whole entire new canyon, a new rabbit hole opens up, and back to the drawing board, and we keep having to remap out the map that we once thought was Bone Thugs and Harmony, and that's what Beyond the Harmony is all about.
Yeah, if I found out anything, it's that we don't really know shit. We don't know shit because
You think you know, but you don't.
Nah, and the reason for that is, and this isn't even a bad thing, but history's been taught by the teachers, or written by the teachers right now, meaning we mostly hear what Bone says, and I said this a while ago, but over 25 years, the normal person forgets normal shit. Never mind being like a rock star the way these guys are. Things just get left. Talking to the people around them. Wow.
Yeah. And what a week it's been. And in fact, we introduced a new part of our show this week. It just dropped a few seconds ago, and that was Thug Bay, where Cecil West talks about items on eBay, Bone items. And as you know by now, he's got an amazing ability to search and destroy, but search and discover. And he has discovered some cool gems, and I think this may be a reoccurring show where Cecil discovers items on eBay.
The thing is I look every day, pretty much every day. I at least try to do one search every day, and if I find something I like, I'm not gonna Thug Bay that. I'm gonna buy that. But constantly, I'm like, that's pretty dope. Like, I wouldn't buy that. I either already have it, I don't want it. I'm only interested in certain Bone shit, not everything. Some motherfuckers want everything. Some people want certain shit. I want certain shit. So I may not want it, or it may not be the right price, and that doesn't mean it's not the right price for you guys to buy. A lot of shit is like the proper asking price. I'm just a cheap motherfucker, and I wait for... I hawk the good sales, kid. I'm out there getting the good sales, kid.
And we probably should point out today's date is March 26, 2018. Our dates change. We record and then they get released. But today is a special day. Well, it's not really a special day, but it's a significant day in that it is Eazy-E's death day. And so rest in peace to Eazy-E, the godfather of gangster rap, the one that brought us Bone Thugs and Harmony, as well as BG Knockout and Drester, NWA, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, all them cats.
Yeah. It's a huge day. It's weird because it's a death day, like you said, right? So it started by it's a special day, and it does feel like it's a special day. Like, we got to celebrate Eazy-E, celebrating the guy's death. It's a crazy, unfortunate situation. So much mystery around it. Mystery that I don't even want to touch. Y'all know that I'm down to break some mystery, but there's some shit in there I wouldn't even want to fuck with. But I was looking at the FBI files, and I've only skimmed like videos of them before, so I actually downloaded and looked at them, and I sent them over to John, and I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. It says that masters of Bone were stolen, and that's an amazing thought because they were probably stolen by Tamika. That's what it sounds like in the fucking FBI files. But that means there could be tons of masters of songs that we've never heard of, that Bone may have fucking forgot about. And we know that that's a situation with Eazy-E. We know that cases of Eazy-E's masters were stolen. One of them's probably the Mr. Bill collector. So what a thought to think that there could be a bunch of like eternal level masters out there.
Yeah, and for the Eazy-E fans as well, I was an Eazy-E fan before I was a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, and his death shocked me as well as everybody else. And I remembered reading the Vibe magazine article piece they did. I can't remember if it was when he died or if it was right before he died, to promote what eventually would be known as Straight Off the Streets of Compton, Volume 1 and 2. Originally, it was supposed to be called Temporarily Insanity, which actually, the 5150 album, that name was being floated around at that time. But in the article, and I'm still to this day, was it 23 years later, waiting on what I read. And it said that Eazy-E had done songs with Guns N' Roses and I think Ozzy Osbourne maybe. I know for sure Guns N' Roses, or maybe it was just Slash of Guns N' Roses. But to this day, I've been trying to find that song, and it said that the album was supposed to be a double CD. We did receive Straight Off the Streets of Compton Volume 1, and then Volume 2 never quite came out. There's like this hit and switches, kind of like 8-track album with songs that I believe were cut from that album. But aside from that, I still haven't seen Volume 2, and I haven't heard that song with Guns N' Roses, and I've been wanting to for half my life to hear that, and I've never seen anything about it.
Yeah, no, who knows? It's one of those things. When I talk to some of these guys and we know about a clip of something or something unreleased, and you ask them about it, and they go, "Yeah, that's gone forever." Such a sad thing to hear, the shit being gone. It's history. History. There's going to be a lot of history covered tonight. Tonight we have an interview with Shutter. He used to go by Shutter Boy. Shutter Boy was signed to what was Thug Line and became the Life ENT. And I always do a little bit of, background with these guys before they come on the show. He's got a really interesting story. I'm excited. He'll be calling in any time, but we do have Shutter Boy here tonight. Cameo in a Crazy Bone video. Which Crazy Bone video was he in? Waiting for Never.
No, well, oh yeah, he's in Waiting for Never, and then there was,
and then he's actually featured on the Fixtape. I almost called it the Quick Tape. The Fixtape 4 on We Live in It.
Yep, last track on the album.
Yeah, he's got some great stories around that. I'm not going to take all the fire out of this, but it's pretty cool, and this is what it's about, because I wasn't even aware, myself of Shutter, and that's because I was really disconnected from Bone during probably the quick tape fix Fixie Quick volume 3 and 4. So I really never heard those two fix tapes, so I didn't know a lot about him, and I've discovered so much about him just talking to him and without even doing a real interview and doing a little bit of research. So this is what the show is about, and it's like, I want you guys to know that we get a real genuine thrill out of interviewing these guys. Like the same stuff we're trying to deliver to you, I'm doing this because I want it delivered to me. I want to know this shit. I'm pumped. Every interview is a different angle, and it doesn't matter if it was Shutter or fucking Crazy Bone. Like, every angle matters on this show. We just recently released a trailer for our upcoming Capone interview. It will probably already be out by the time y'all hear this, but it just happened again. It's 3/26/2008 as of this recording, and man, did it send some shockwaves through the community.
I thought the K-Chill one was amazing, and then that one got topped with the Capone one. It's so enjoyable to watch. It's addictive to watch it. It's like I want it to keep going forever. It's like seeing that trailer, I want to see the Capone movie. It's such a good trailer.
It's weird. I'm not gonna say the Bone fans like all of them, but a lot of Bone fans seem really offended that he was talking about the Ouija board and at this point demons. They haven't even heard the interview. You know, they're about to be super offended when they hear the fucking interview. But you know, it's like he did the same shit Bone did. I don't understand. And if somebody wants to tell me, like, what's different about Capone saying that shit than, like, Lazy Bone, leave a comment, say something on Facebook, like, you know, I'm open to hear what people have to say. Like, this isn't one of these things where me and John are like, what we think is right and fuck y'all. Like, we want to know what makes that different, because I truly don't get the difference between Capone and Lazy Bone talking about using the fucking Ouija board. Dear Mr. Ouija. Yeah. It's all one and the same gang to me.
Yeah, and as far as the Ouija topic goes, it's the Bone community's kind of split on that. Some people still want that Ouija era with the occult, and then others are more appreciative of the more religious, traditional religions like Christianity and Jehovah's Witness and Catholicism, and they want that part, like the Crossroads Bone, and we pray. You know,
listen, I understand. I also think that, you know, with that, I think a lot of Bone fans see it as maybe Bone came from evil, you know, kind of ways with the faces of death and the hell sent, and you know, hey, maybe they got their souls back. Maybe they completed their trip through Hell Sent. I don't know. So motherfuckers don't want that backpedal. But that doesn't mean, you know, I know a lot of Bone fans really believe in that piece, and then some don't believe it as much. But if you really believe in it, hey, just support Capone as he chases his soul back, you know?
Right.
And if you don't believe in it, then who gives a fuck? Don't get all worked up about it. It's just a fucking game, right?
And everybody's got their freedom of religion. You know, it's whoever's God you pray to. That's an individual, personal decision. So it just may not be your God. It may not be your ritual. But you know, and this isn't just for. This is for anybody. I welcome all thoughts on here, and I like hearing all aspects. That's what philosophy is about. Is hearing everything and experiencing everything and thinking about everything. So that's what we brought.
You can't be wrong on this show unless you're like a dickhead. There's been a couple dickheads, which, hey, be a dickhead if you want. If that's who you are, more power to you. You won't say shit up in here, but if you're a dickhead, be a dickhead. But, like, you know, opinions are welcomed. Like the disclaimer says, me and John, we're just a couple of motherfuckers talking about Bone. I don't know all that shit. I'm historically inaccurate probably all the time because I smoke a bunch of weed and do podcasts and rap music. I mean,
and this is what we do anyway. Like, if we weren't recording this live on Talk Show, we'd be having these conversations on the side anyway. So we just figured some of the convos are so good, we're like, we got to share this with people. Plus the ability to bring people on the show that could offer a perspective. By the way, I think our boy Shutter Boy is connecting in.
Yeah, so that's what the show's about. It does look like we now have Shutter on. Speaking of our guest, Shutter, you with us?
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all?
Yo,
loud and clear. So Shutter. we were just talking, Shutter. You know, today is Eazy-E's death date, so we were just in the middle of having a conversation about that and the Bone fans. It's a historic day in hip hop. What a change for hip hop to lose Eazy-E to the game. Like, I hate to bring you right into the interview, but I'm gonna drag you right into the interview, Shutter, and say, how different would the game be if Eazy-E was here today?
Man, shit. Hey, man, I'm gonna say, man, it wouldn't be no 6ix9ine out here. Oh, no, but man, it'd definitely be different, man. You know, like, man, like I couldn't even explain it. You know, I'd be thinking like, man, what would the game be like without Tupac and them? But it'd definitely be different, man. I think the Bone Thug legacy would be even like bigger, man. Like, I'm just imagine if Easy would have been alive.
Oh yeah,
Man, like,
absolutely.
I can go on and on about it.
We're pumped to have you on the show tonight. We've been talking about you. There's been a lot of research for us, you know, going into the show. You know, it's like I told you, I briefly told people at the beginning of the show, you know, I wasn't real familiar with your work, so I really dove in to know about you. And it's amazing the careers of the guys around the Bone guys. Like you guys that have worked around the Bone guys have all just like paved your own way in such a big way. Like, for you, when did you get started in hip hop? Because it was before you got connected with Bone, right?
Right. Yeah. So, you know, my family, man, like it goes back, man, since birth, man. Before, like, you know, my family, my mom and my dad, they've been working in the music industry, you know, hip hop, since like, man, early '90s, like late '80s and shit, like. And that's how even my parents even met, you know, like in the industry. You know, my mom, you know, her brother had a group called As One, and she was like managing them. And then, you know, like I forgot that they met. They were at work somewhere together, but yeah, they had, you know, worked on that project together, and ended up, you know, getting together after that, having me, getting married, and the rest is history. But yeah, man.
And I was trying to find like dates. You have a lot of mixtapes out there. I saw a bunch on Dat Piff before the show. I went on a walk and listened to Cream, Kush Rules, Everything Around Me, and it reminded me of you know, my days of just having the passion to record, and I was just impressed with how many albums and songs you had, and I couldn't get an idea for the dates, but you know, can you just let us in on your recording history?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Better Off Alone, that's my first mixtape. That was released like right before like we got on with TL. That was like released in July 2010, and like about maybe 4 months right before we went into TL. But that came out, and then 2012 I dropped The Cream. It's the Kush Rules, Everyone Around Me, April 15th, 2012, and then I went on a hiatus for like 4 years and shit. I mean, like, I was still doing music, but I haven't dropped, you know, like a full project until like 2016. And where I dropped, you know, like I went by Shutter Boy, but I dropped the boy part. You know, I'm 24 now, so I ain't a boy though, boy. So I have to, you know, switch it up, you know, rebrand myself, you know, come out with the EP. And yeah, man, like I'm currently working on like a lot of new projects right now.
Dang, so you were in your teens doing that. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I gotta give you props, because you've really, since you've departed, continued your career. There's a lot of affiliates that, you know, once their time with Bone is over, that seems to be the end of the run for them. Maybe it was from your parents, maybe it was your time with Bone, but you seem to have soaked in a lot, enough that you were able to keep momentum going, even without Bone. Like, is that how you feel about your career?
Yeah. I mean, I learned a lot from those dudes, man. Like everything, just the stage presence, you know, like feeling the crowd's energy, and like, you know, being yourself, and, you know what I'm saying, like, man, like I learned, you know, like recording techniques and little here and there. Like even Crazy told us, like in the studio, like right before the fixtape, we recorded for the fixtape. He's like, you eat what you kill. You know what I'm saying? Like you eat what you kill. If you ain't kill it, something, you eat it. You know. Yeah. So yeah.
How did you officially meet Crazy Bone? Like, how? Like, it sounds like it was your parents, but what was the official, like, I'm with Crazy Bone, and you were signed to Thug Line, correct? You were with them before the switch?
No. I was with like TL, like the Life, but it was like right when they changed it to like the Life, it was like fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like right, it was changed. Like that's when everything like came together. But yeah, with Crazy. What do you want me to start from? Like from when I met him, or like how my parents and all that shit?
Hey, you can go all the way back. Let us know.
All right. Well, I'll take it back to 1999. Yeah. So my mom, she, we go to this like every year this music conference. It's been going since the early '90s, called Urban Network. It's an urban, showcase, hip hop artists and everything. Crazy, and them was doing a showcase for Mo Thugs during that time. And my mom, she approached Crazy, because she heard, he was looking for like groups, female rappers and shit. And my mom and dad, they were managing a group called the Conscious Daughters. I don't know if y'all may know. Out of the Bay Area, they had like a hit called Rolling Deep, and
yeah, I remember them. Conscious Daughters, they were a big deal back then.
Yeah. So yeah, they were managing them, and then so she told Craig about him and all that, and he's like, okay. So like, I guess they ended up working with Craig, like, because he was starting up Thug Line. So this is like right like in the beginning of the Thug Line era and shit. They were like originally on the first roster, like they linked up and did some shit, but it really didn't fall through all like that.
Well, you said that they were looking for a female artist. Was do you, by any chance, do you know if that was to fulfill the role of the Night Riders? We had heard that the Night Riders were trying to land a solid female, and they did replace. They had like a rotating female for that role. By any chance,
I heard sometimes it was like the Ryzin, sometimes it's Thug Queen and shit. Well, I mean, like, he was looking for like any artist, female artist mainly too. So like she had the group, my mom, the Conscious Daughters. So he was like, all right. So yeah, like, and I looked it up. I was like, did they ever like do anything together? My parents, they told me, but I looked up myself. There's this one website, like fan-made website from the '90s, and they have like the original TL like lineup. They have like Bam on there, all the first line.
Bam and Asu and all them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So did Conscious Daughters ever get down with the line, the Life or Thug Line?
Yeah. With the Thug Line thing, they I think they still did a couple things, but I guess it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the reason, but it didn't end up working out with them. So that was yeah.
So now fast forward for me a little bit, because in our conversation, you had said something about eventually either your mom or like your parents ended up like actually helping run that label. Is that correct?
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that, because that's huge to me. Like, to be able to say, hey, my mom was running the whole like Thug Line, like that's a huge moment.
Yeah. Because like my mom and shit, like, man, like they did a lot of like a background work in the music industry, like a lot of like big shit. Like growing up in this industry since birth, like I done met and seen a lot of like like great people, and even Steve Lobel, he's one of them too. Shout out to Steve, man. Like I grew up, seeing him, being around him and shit, and then get to be around him as I got older. It was cool. But wow. Yeah, throughout the years, they stayed in contact with Bone. Even in 2002, of course, I was old enough to be out there at the club, but my mom and them, they did an event with Bone, and she had put me on the phone with Lazy. I was like 9 shit at the time. I was at my cousin's house. She had put me on the phone with Lazy. We got talking shit. And then later that night, she came back with like some of the promo shit that they had. This for the Thug World Order days. And they had a poster. I don't know if any of y'all collected that or whatever. They had a static electricity like Thug World Order poster that you could just throw on the wall and it would like automatically stick to the wall.
What? No, I've never heard of that. Did you hear that, Cecil?
No, I didn't know about that. That's dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the promo items. Like, I still haven't seen no shit like that to this day. It's like a fucking, like, vinyl, something like papers, like static electricity you just throw on the wall, it'll stick, like, automatically. That was
That's dope. I've never seen that.
Get back on that. They stayed in contact throughout the years, and we went to a couple shows, like, in the middle of the 2000s and all that. But to fast forward to 2010, one day, my Crazy, hit up my mom and shit, they linked back up together talking, and then he was letting her know that he, was starting up the life, from the transition, so it's like all brand new everything. And he was like, yeah, man, like whatever artists you got, like bring them on, like, you know what I'm saying? So, so she basically co-managed the whole thing. Shit.
So, when that happened for you, did you officially get signed on paper, or what was the situation with like that? Because it sounds like a lot of the affiliates don't really end up on, paper with these, Thug Line, a lot of Mo Thugs.
It'd be so many, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know how that shit go. Like, man, like, if you sign something, like, you really got to get some money out of it. You don't want to just sign something and not, get nothing out of it. But I don't know. I can't really speak on the other, affiliates and like the signing thing. But no, we didn't sign nothing at all.
Did you have like job responsibilities on a daily basis? Like, did you have to go to the office each day, or like how does that work?
Well, I mean, we were always there. We're at, a Track House Studios, a crazy studio out there in Tustin, California. But I mean, we go out there sometimes and shit. One day we were just there and shit. Crazy, he was filming some shit in the back of the studio. We didn't know what it was at first, and then later that night he came into like the studio part, and he was like, "Hey, hey, I need all y'all to come to the back with me real quick." He's like, all the dudes, and then they was back there filming the Waiting for Never video.
So like you didn't even know that was gonna happen that day. It was like, "Hey, come back here, shoot the video."
We was there. We saw Crazy shooting some shit in the back, man. Like that's the scene, like where he's walking away from the microphone, and then is that the Hard to Let Go, and then it goes to Wait for Never song.
Yeah. No, I watched that video so many times.
Right. He was filming that part, like in the other part of the studio, and then I was like, oh, he's filming. I think he's doing an interview or something. Like, I don't know what it was. And later he's like, hey man, I need y'all coming. Man. That's who y'all see, like in the video, like all lined up. I'm standing next to my pops and shit. Everybody thinks he look like DJ Yella and shit.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. Now the question I think everybody has is, was a whole entire music video filmed for Waiting for Never, or was it filmed just as a snippet as we experienced it on the internet?
I think the clip. I don't think they did anything further after that. Cause I know they put to be continued and shit. I really didn't know I was there. I thought, oh shit, like. And then I look back too. That was actually for the Fixtape 3. That was like the end of the Fixtape 3 part, going into the Fixtape 4. Because when we filmed that Waiting for Never video, that was November 2010. And that's right when I turned I turned 17 that year.
Was that a big deal for you to be able to, like, that's gotta feel like a big achievement to work, especially as a young man, to work so hard and be able to show your peers like you standing in a video with Crazy Bone? Did that get a big reaction for you?
No, I mean, I've been in the industry, so I really don't be starstruck with people, but you know what I'm saying, like. I grew up on Eazy and Bone. Eazy, of course, was my favorite, you know what I'm saying? And then, I used to listen to them a lot, like, especially throughout, like, high school and shit, like Bone. Especially when I first started smoking weed and shit, like, listen to Bone and shit, man. Like, and then, like, damn near a year later, I'm on tour with these niggas in the studio. That shit's crazy. Like, man.
Yeah. you had mentioned Eazy-E, and when you and I have private conversations, we've talked about Eazy-E a little bit, and just, you had told me you were really into Eazy-E, and the Eazy-E thing got you into Bone. What was it that got you into Eazy-E? Like, was that also your parents, or did you just find his music? Because I mean, you're a little young for the Eazy-E era.
Right. Yeah. Let me tell you a quick story. I'll get into that. My parents said they actually met Eazy-E back in the 90s, like right when he dropped the 5150. What was that EP?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
right.
And you said your parents were managing him? Well, and I couldn't hear you. You said your parents were managing him. Was that right?
No. I'm saying like around when that EP came out, my parents they were actually going into the same building that Eazy was. I think where Ruthless was, and they actually parked right next to each other. They saw Eazy getting out of a Jeep, and then they were like, "Oh, shit, that's Eazy." And then they had talked because my blood relative, my older cousin, is Charlie Jam. He used to drive the tour buses for NWA and them Eazy, and he was like Eazy's mentor and shit. So like they started chopping up about that. And he's like, okay, and then gave him the cassette tape of his new EP and shit. But yeah, like that's a little untold story for the world out there. But yeah, man, how I got into Eazy, man. One day I was like 8 or something like that, 7. I was at my uncle's house and he had Eazy-E CD on his rack. He had the 187 Killer CD.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So I saw that shit. I was like, man, like, you see the cover, like you sitting there like with a 40 ounce and a shotgun and shit. Like that shit was hard. Like I was like, who is this nigga? And like, end up, man, the rest is history.
So seeing that at an early age, when you saw Dr. Dre inside the album cover, dressed up in the World Wrecking Crew outfit, like, did it not make sense to you why it was in there? Were you like, hey, what's wrong with this picture? Like, did you know what Eazy was trying to do to Dre?
At first, you know what's fucking crazy, bruh? Like, I was young, but bruh, the fucking obituary part, nigga, that shit was believable, nigga. I thought that shit was real. I thought that shit was real, but I was like, oh, nigga, this nigga killed this nigga, bro. I didn't even know like that was Dre at first because he looked different as fuck. Like he had long hair. I was like, oh, this nigga killed the nigga and shit. I'm telling you, bro, that shit was so believable, bro. All that shit. Like you just said, everything you hear in our records is true, nigga. I'll believe that, but shit.
Straight out of Compton.
That's exactly where I was going. When you and I were speaking privately, and I didn't dive in too much into this in private because I kind of wanted to hear it with people, but you had mentioned something about Straight Outta Compton, and I thought that was so big because I was like, wow, he started as an Eazy-E fan, and then you said you had some kind of like involvement with Straight Outta Compton. Tell me more about that because I'm really interested to hear what went down there.
Well, man, you already see, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my favorite rapper, NWA, Bone, like just the whole fucking family tree. So I had, like I told myself even before, like I knew when they, announced the movie and shit, like I told myself, like I have to be in this fucking movie, bro. I don't care. I have to find a way, like, and I followed the whole production from when they were auditioning, like when looking for the Eazy part and the Q part. I auditioned myself for the part. They sent me it was like a 4 or 5 page script, like parts of the movie.
Holy shit!
Like, right. So like first, you send in your pictures and all that, and then they send you back the script for you to read. That part, I didn't do the reading part, like, the video and shit. I just got the script. I was like, damn, man. I knew I wasn't going to get the part anyway. I just wanted to be a part of the shit somehow. So, I knew,
that's awesome.
Whatever happens, shit. But I got to see, like, how the movie was, like, before they put it out. And I sent the copy to, BG Knockout for him to look at. And, yeah, I looked at it and shit. But, yeah, like, that shit was crazy, bro. Like, and then I eventually, like found my way like into the movie, or actually, I'll take that. Hold on, I'm gonna go back real quick. When they casted the parts for, like, when they found, like the people who's playing the people, like when they put that first picture, when there were 3 of them, I was like, bro, I really got to be in this shit. So I started looking around for, the background, the extras and shit. So I ended up finding a way and shit. So I did the crowd scene, and man, like that whole experience was crazy.
Did you try to did you try out for the DJ Yellow role?
Nah, hey, I'm a little bit too dark for that shit. I ain't gonna do that shit, but no, it was crazy, bro. Cause like I'm also good friends with his second oldest daughter, Erica, right? So like, yeah, like I got to kick it with her on set, and man, like shit is like I can go in depth if y'all want me to. Like I don't know.
Yeah, hey, this is your time, man. You can, like I said, we're just riding shotgun. You driving the car, so.
All right. No, man, I feel like the spirit of Easy was there with me throughout the whole fucking time, bro. Cause this is all happening. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll tell you like real quick, man. Yeah, so like with the whole movie shit, so I ended up getting to be like in the movie. Like that's the first thing. One of the songs like I was listening to like when we were in the shuttle on our way to the movie set, I was like slapping Dope Man like back to back, like bro, like it was crazy. I was slapping that shit, and then the song that we ended up doing for the movie was Dope Man, like the performance part. So that was a big ass fucking coincidence. When we got to the movie shoot, like that shit was crazy. It really felt like I was in the '80s for real. So we was there, and like it was like maybe 100 some people. We were standing off to the side, me and my pops. But as Gary Gray came up there, he started saying, he wanted to make sure everything looked time correct, make sure it looked authentic as possible. So they had all the production crew start, picking people from the crowd who looked like real, like 80s for real, like because we're supposed to portray 1988 in Compton. So they start choosing people, and then one of the people that chose me was actually Clay Bone Sloan.
No shit.
Yeah, the OG, the whole thing with Suge Knight shit. Yeah, him. He chose me from the crowd, but I was all the way to the side. Like he saw me and like pointed at me. I was like, me? He's like, yeah. He's like right here, like right in front of the stage. I was like, oh shit.
That's crazy. Wow.
So yeah, I got to do that. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as I listen to your story and I find this all the time with the affiliates of Bone, everybody's got a different story, but they're all so connected in some way. Like you have this easy, connection, and your parents had this easy connection, and it got you to Bone, and then it puts you in, the Straight Outta Compton movie. When you were with Crazy Bone, and and I had misunderstood during our private conversation, so I had a couple questions about Thug Line, but when you were with the Life Entertainment, what other artists were there with you at that time? Like, what other artists were you interacting with on the Life Entertainment?
All right, it started with the crazy bring all the artists on. First artist that my mom brought was Duke Terrell. I don't know if y'all probably heard of the song Ain't Nobody Better. I don't know if y'all heard it. It was a little minor thing. Some of the fans like fucked with it. Duke Terrell, he was on there. Let me see, Deposition, Keith G, Sin Marley, that comedian, little JJ. Yeah, like
yes.
Yeah, he was actually one of the artists.
Wow.
Him, right, yeah. Him and a group called June 5th. I think they're from St. Louis. What else? GM Boys. And that's also my relatives, the GM Boys and me. But yeah, I mean, it really wasn't like.
Were the Masterminds? Were the Masterminds there?
Right. Masterminds, my fuck, yeah, Masterminds, yeah. I gotta go back a little. There was so many artists, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it sounds like this was like a heavy rebrand time. I mean, they were making that switch. I know when they made that switch from Thug Line to the Life, Crazy Bone was really hoping to kind of open the brand up, which we can say, you know, he's done that. Well, you were with the Life Entertainment, Kenny Mahoney. Actually, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions from a few of our boards. Kenny Mahoney's part of the BT&H board, and he wanted to know that when you were with the Life, what Wishbone's role was with the company.
Well, I mean, like you know, basically, you know, secondary to Crazy. Well, I mean, he really didn't do nothing like business wise. I don't know. Crazy.
Did he have interaction with the artist the way Crazy did?
Like how?
Well, I mean, like Crazy would sometimes feature on tracks, and I'm assuming people would perform with him. I mean, did Wish, like, because you were saying that Crazy Bone kind of mentored you, told you to eat what you kill. Did Wish ever mentor you guys or act like a coach? Or
I saw him like jumping in like an interview with you guys. I was watching a couple of your interviews and stuff, so I saw that he was kind of around, jumping, you know, into stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Wish quiet.
Yeah.
But all my niggas though. But yeah, no. I mean, of course, you know, like just like doing what they do, like that's like teaching me like right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because me and my cousins, you know, the GM boys, it was four of them and one of me. And, you know, like right now it's 5 of us. We have like our collective Star Nation. Who me and my other real blood cousin, we're cousins, and the other 2 members are brothers. So it's kind of like we're like a Bone Thugs. So they're like emulating. You know what I'm saying? Like we're learning what to do, what not to do as a, you know, group, collective. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Well, the age old question is, and whether you know or not, I don't know. But did you ever hear of any murmurs of a Wishbone solo album ever going to come out?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, they were talking about that shit, but nah, I didn't start hearing about it until like 2012. But I know like it's been like brought up like way back then. But man, like, I really do hope you get that album, because like I'd be thinking like if he would have dropped like an album back in the '90s, like what it would have done, you know?
Yeah.
Now I was watching an interview. I was watching an interview actually with Busy Bone, and Busy Bone was on there and he was talking about a few different things. But one of the things he was talking about was the Life artists, and he was talking about, you know, passing the torch, and it sounded like he was specifically talking about, like, you know, passing the torch to like you and those guys around you. Like what is that like? Whether you've grown up in the industry or not, to hear a guy like Busy Bone make such a statement, I mean, what's that like for you as an upcoming artist?
Man, to go hard, bro. Like it's basically like it's a stamp of approval, man. Like you got the approval of these guys, man. Like shit, you can't ask for a better fucking approval, bro. Like it was an honor, man. So like it really, you know, pushed me to just go hard, stay like longevity, stay relevant. You know, even, you know, in the interview, Busy was saying, you know, 5 to 10 year plan. You know, you got to, you know, set the plans and shit. You don't want to, you know, spend up all your money and get fat, shit. You know, like maybe we want to set some goals and, you know, execute them shit.
Yeah. Now,
go ahead, John.
We were talking about all those artists that were on the Life, and you know, I was wondering if the Life had like a bookkeeper, like somebody that kept track, a historian that kept track of all the official releases, the mixtapes, any singles that may have came out, any promos, any, you know, basically, was there anybody keeping track of what everybody was doing, what everybody was releasing?
And I'm telling you why we're asking this, Shutter, is because Bone and the affiliates are just notorious for disorganization. So and it looks like they're more organized now. So we've been kind of trying to pinpoint when they started to kind of get organized compared to how they used to be.
All right. Let me see. Y'all basically asking like what was like out that y'all didn't know of?
No, just as far as like was there anybody in charge of kind of like just keeping track of what was going on? You have so many artists recording so much music going out and everything. I mean, was there anybody that was kind of like, I guess keeping track of everything that was kind of coming out of that camp? Because so many artists coming out of there, it's kind of got to be chaotic unless somebody's there kind of, paying attention to everything that's going on. And I don't assume that's Crazy Bone with his own big career.
And to put onto it, it's just as a fan trying to keep track of everything they do, not knowing the inner workings of it. That's a task in itself. I was just wondering what it's like to be on the inside, to try to catalog that, be like the librarian. I mean, I don't know if, obviously that's not your role, but I was just wondering if you knew of somebody in the organization that their role was to basically create the history of the life and preserve it, kind of thing.
Not really, man. I think the true keepers of that is the fans, man. Like, there's definitely a lot of like diehard fans, because a lot of the fans too like came to that studio before too, so they've seen some of the shit too in their workings.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, I think some of the fans like got that, that part. Yeah. Even with me, like I try to go back and like see what was put out during that time. But mainly the main project during that whole era was Fixtape 4.
Yeah, I was just gonna say during as far as the Fixtape 4, that sounded like that was like the flagship album for your time. The labels featured on it. You're featured on We Live in It. You kind of told us about the Waiting for Never video. When you guys did We Live in It, was that recorded like everyone together, or did you guys kind of record in separate places, or was that something you recorded with Crazy Bone?
Yeah. We Live in It. It already had like the first, like how. So some of the parts were like blank and shit. And then we recorded our part at Track House Studios at Crazy Bone's place. I did my part third, well no I think last, like out of all my cousins, like Gym Boys, they did their part first, and then I went and laid my part, because they laid their shit in like damn near one take and shit. I was trying to do the same, but I kept having trouble, so like I was like fuck. He's like in the positions like, oh, you ain't gotta rush, man, it's all good. And so like I ended up getting it right. And man, I didn't even know like it was gonna do what it did. Like I didn't know it was gonna get put out or anything.
Yeah, never mind. Be like, usually if you're the first song or the last song on the album, there's like a lot of weight to carry. Because if the first song sucks, people turn it off, and the last song is what people walk away with. And your verse is actually closer to the end of the fucking song as well. So you got to come correct, because you're like one of the last things, and it's the last Fixtape, so you're like one of the last things people hear on the last Crazy Bone Fixtape.
I'm gonna tell you this about the song that the fans and shit probably don't know. Crazy and Wish were actually supposed to put their verses on that song.
And did they just not because of the length, or what was the reason that didn't?
I think because maybe they just didn't get it done in time, and they wanted to put out because there's so many like pushbacks. So he just basically looked at it and said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna like say my part here, like in the front, and have them go in." Because originally, like it was all of us, go in, and then Crazy and Wish finish it off. But I guess they just left it like that.
Well, the nice part about that is it follows the line of a tradition of posse cuts. Great albums like the DOC's No One Could Do It Better. The last track was the grand finale with all of NWA. DJ Quick used to do those Scandalous tracks with High C and AMG and Player Ham. And
even like Mo Thugs, even if you look at the Mo Thugs albums, the Mo Thugs albums always end with giant posse cuts like that.
Yeah, that's like shots to the Double Glock. So that's pretty neat that you were on a posse cut of the Life Thug line. So that's
that right there solidified like everything for real. Like, that's why I'm here talking to y'all today.
Now, you told me something, and I had no clue about this at all. And you know, like I said, I was kind of disconnected from the Bone thing, so I may have just missed it. Maybe this is knowledge, but do you want to kind of tell everybody about this unreleased video?
Right. Yeah.
That's huge to me. When you told me that, I was like, what? You dropping bombs on me.
That show's supposed to be like a movie, man. Like we done shot like a lot of shit for that shit, man.
And it was a video for the We Live in It song, correct?
Oh yeah, the whole song, shit. Yeah.
What happened?
Man, well, you know, like I say, like half of the artists that was on the We Live in It song is like spread it out, so it was hard to get everybody together to do the video. So the video was really filmed like in separate days and shit. But the day, that first day when I was there, we did the video. They filmed Position's part at the hotel up the street. Then later that night, they did Keith G's part in the back alley where Crazy Studio was. And then we did our parts. Yeah, we did me and my cousins, the Young Boys, did our parts.
Do you guys ever talk about getting together and finishing it?
Man, like, well, I mean, I don't know, like it probably could get put out, but they might. I don't know if they could take the verses off, but that'll be bad. Unless they can put some extra footage in there to cover up the part or the people's missing. They could probably do something like that, because damn near half of everybody that's on the song did their part.
Damn, yeah. They should be able to get that. Hey, look at how many fucking videos they did without Busy Bone, right?
Yeah. That's the thing too. During that time, you know, the East 99 Eternal live tour, Busy wasn't around. That's when he got left again. You know, after the Unity 5 thing, and it's like months after they dropped the album. So he wasn't around during that time. So it was just the four of them. Minus Busy.
Let me ask you another question about We Live in It. Just because I want to make sure that fans know about that, because like I said, that was like the big thing for me. I was like, I can't believe there's this unreleased video out here. Just so you guys know, we'll be dropping. Shudder sent us some exclusive behind the scenes footage from this video, so we're gonna be dropping that in the video on YouTube when we do this. It looked like, was Crazy Bone helping direct this video? What was going on there?
Yeah, man. This unreleased rare footage for the fans, man. Y'all really gonna like get it like a first look on some shit like Crazy Bone, like director mode, straight director mode, like never before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really into the shit for real. Yeah, like you get to really take a look into, you know, the unreleased, you know, footage of the video from behind the scenes.
What was the theme, like the story for that music video? Was it just like a general video, or was there like a story? Because you said it's kind of like a movie.
Yeah. So like it starts off like with a briefcase, and then like the briefcase is being passed around like some drug dealing shit. Like it's the briefcase. Like, we don't know what's in it. It's like some, you know, it's passed it around, and at the end, like, the briefcase supposed to be like some books or some shit. Like, it's weird, bro. That shit was funny, though.
And you said that did you film your part for the video?
Yeah. We came out here 2 different weeks, actually. Well, I was already out here. My cousin, the GM boys, and then Typhoon, we did our parts at this warehouse and out there near LA. But yeah, our parts is done. Like, some of the clips actually from our part is on the YouTube right now. I don't know if you ever seen like the live promo video when they show like all the artists and shit.
Yeah, okay, so it's in that. I was gonna ask if you've ever got a chance to like actually see any of your footage where it's unreleased.
No. I seen the footage when I was there and shit, but like afterward, everybody else got a copy of that shit, but us and shit. But No,
Oh, man.
Hey, we need fucking Shutter to get his footage, man. If there was somebody else helping record, if you got that Shutter Boy footage, man, we need that.
yeah, all for the fans, man.
Yeah, speaking of that, I was on Shutter Boy YouTube, and it looked like there was nothing uploaded since 2013. Was I on the right channel?
He's got a new one, the Shutter. He's got he that's his old Shutter Boy one, and then he's got a newer one as well.
Man, I've been on the wrong one all this time. My bad.
No,
Okay.
because that Shutter Boy one has some good. Both of them have good stuff on it. I like that they're both there because one kind of shows his current career and what he's doing, and then one kind of shows like his time while he was with Bone and the life. So I like that they're both there.
Yeah, mainly that too. Now I lost my password and everything for the day, but yeah.
When you were there, when you were with the life, when you were with Crazy Bone, you're going to a studio all the time. Was there talk about like a Shutter Boy solo, or like maybe like when Thug Line was a group, they did a big Thug Line like Posse album. Was there any talk about you guys doing a big label like Mo Thug album?
Oh, like a TL album?
Yeah, but like the way Mo Thugs did it, something like that.
I don't think about that shit.
Well, didn't they do one called the New Dynasty or something?
Yeah, that was the one when they had Thug Line. Because the Life, when they changed it to Life, Fixtape 4 is actually the first release from the Life.
From the
Life.
Wow.
But looking back at it, I think if somebody would have really put it in his ear, like come out with him, like there's another like a TL like compilation, like I think he would really push to do that because they don't think they still haven't dropped one yet. Like that's long overdue for sure. Well, I mean they dropped one today, but I'm talking about like more recent.
Another question from one of the boards, Eternal Moving from the thugsandharmony.com message board. He wanted to know if you recorded any songs with any of the Bone members while you were with them.
Will they say it again?
Eternal Moving from thugsandharmony.com. He wanted to know if you had any songs recorded with any of the Bone members. We know you have that song out, but they got a history of tons of unreleased stuff.
Right. No, that's basically it on that part. I mean, like, man, like I'm still around them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I never left. Like I always come around sometimes. But man, like it's never too late, man. Lazy, like he's always out here, near like where I live. But, like like getting a feature from him would be nothing. I'm actually thinking about getting him, for my next EP that I'm gonna drop.
That's dope.
I need one of them on there for sure.
Do you know why the name of Fixtape changed to Quick Fix? Did it have to do with the podcast, or was there another reason why Crazy changed his annual mixtape from Fixtape to Quick Fix?
Well, Quick Fix, the album, I mean, that came out before he had the radio show, of course. No, but the Quick Fix is basically because it's the EP form. The Quick Fix tape is more like an album form, like a long album. Quick Fix is like an EP, like 5 tracks and shit. We call it Quick, like the Quick Fix. It's basically like the mini Fix tape,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. He's smart for doing that, man. These niggas smart. Like, I'm learning like a lot of this shit. Like I'm putting all this shit to use.
And I don't know if you
Crazy's a genius.
I don't know if you were around for the time. This is just, and I don't expect you to know this, but there was a song that he came out with Crazy Bone. It was called Vanilla Lights. I don't know if that it came out on the internet, but I've never to this day seen it released. And I always wondered, because they do this periodically, where they will release a well-engineered song, but it never officially releases. So any idea about Vanilla Lights?
I don't know. It probably was played while I was there. I didn't know. One time, Rory Graham, the engineer, like that whole thing. Shout out to Rory, man. We were in the studio one day, and everybody I stepped out with is me and him, and I think my mom. And he had this like drum machine shit, like had full of tracks on it. He had played, I think, that one song, "Approach the Danger" by Bone.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
So I heard Crazy's part. He just played Crazy's part and shit. I was like, damn. I was like, they need to go back to that sound for real and shit. I was like, he's like, yeah, like.
Yeah, Approach is Dangerous dope. I think that ended up on like the Art of War, World War III or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like, man, like, that's just like, I was like, man, like, they gotta go back to that shit. And that's what you notice. You see a lot of pictures with me, like, you know, I keep like the bone look, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, with the hair and, you know, wearing, you know, the Pendletons, the flannels and shit, you know, looking all thuggish and shit.
Yeah, that, you know, it's funny because that was one of our questions is, you know, we see you with the big gold rope chain, and I was telling John, I'm like, yo, Shutter has a very old school, you know, vintage look for a young dude. Like, what's the significance behind that big gold rope chain?
Oh shit, man! Like, man, it's hip hop. That's that hip hop shit right there, man. Like,
yeah, when every time I see you with that on, I just think of, you know, classics. I think Eazy-E, Run DMC. Like, you got a very classic look about you.
Yeah, no, I should do like. I love like gold. I mean, diamonds, of course, but like gold and the gold ropes and all the, you know, the vintage shit like that, the Turkish ropes and shit like that. I fuck with that shit.
and
earlier, go ahead, John.
And I was gonna just for the people listening that haven't heard the other Shutter Boy interview, so I heard your other interview, and you know, they asked you why the name Shutter Boy. Now I know the answer, but just in case anybody listening doesn't know what Shutter Boy means, can you let them in on that?
Yeah. The story, you know what I'm saying. You know, the shutter shades. I used to wear them a lot. It was like back in 2008. So I used to wear them shutter shades, and then the name Shutter Boys is like came, you know, at me. You see, people's calling me Shutter Boy. Hey, Shutter Boy, Shutter and shit. So it stuck with me. And the rest is history. That's it.
And you had like a bunch of different colors too, right? Because that was the part that I was like, man, he had all different colors.
Yeah. I was like gold, black, white, red, all that shit.
Pretty tight.
But then, you know, I stopped wearing them, but I kept the name. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like Shutter Boy, you know, Shutter, and then yeah, kept the shit.
Did you get any sponsorships? Did any companies reach out and say, "Hey, push our glasses"?
No.
No one that you're an aficionado of them?
No, not really. Really, the one who really took that shit over really was Kanye West. You know, like
Yeah.
So they was gonna send shit to anybody to be him. But no, not really.
When earlier I'd heard you just briefly mention the E1999 Eternal tour. Was that a tour you were on? Did you do any touring with Bone during that time you were with them?
Yeah. The East 99 Eternal Live tour. When we first started coming around, like, you know, the hotel shit started. This is actually 2 months before, like, you know, the video shoot to Hard to Let Go, the Wait for Never shit. This is 2 months before we were in Reno. Lazy's birthday. It was his birthday that night. Me and my cousins, we had drove from San Francisco to Reno, and yeah, like, we were told that the show was like tomorrow, but he was like, no, the show's tonight. I was like, oh shit. So we went out there, shit, 4-hour drive out there to Reno. We missed the show portion, so like right as the show ended, like that's when we got there. So like we went straight backstage and shit. That's when I first saw Flesh and shit. Yeah, like up close. Like I seen him like right when I went to their show, like right like when we got out there. It was like the first time I seen him up close. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. You know, yeah, shooting pool in the back room, and then crazy. All these my people out here. He's like, take them to the bus. You know, they had the tour bus and shit. They took us out to the tour bus and we was kicking it, you know, chopping it up, like. And you'll see all that footage that I just told you on our new documentary. Me and my cousin's documentary, our collective called Star Nation. Me and the GM boys. You'll see like all like footage like from that the whole time with Crazy and like all that on there.
Yeah, it's I've seen there's a little trailer if you guys want to see the trailer, and the trailer's got a little bit of Bone footage in it. It's a great trailer. I mean, you know, it really did make me want to see it. Is there a a time when you're looking that you think that'll be out?
Hey man, like this year for sure. I'm trying to like push for like definitely like the summertime, like for sure. Like I ain't just saying this, in the interview. You know how people be saying shit like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this out." No, this is coming out because the story like it starts from 2008, so like it's gonna be like it's gonna cover 10 years in like a 45-minute span. Like I'm squeezing all the shit in together, but I'm gonna make sure it all gets covered.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Being able to put a documentary out on your life, that's forever. That kind of sets your place in life, no matter what happens today, tomorrow, 10 years from now.
Yeah, like I think ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like I know people like who is he to drop a documentary? Like why not? Like like come on, I got too much shit. Like I want to share with the world all this history and shit. Like why not? Like people would love to see this shit. Like yeah.
Now, were you on the Rock the Bells tour by any chance?
No, I wasn't, but I did end up going to. Shout out to Steve Robel again, man. He hooked us up to go see the hologram out there in Mountain View. So I got to see the Eazy-E hologram up close.
Oh shit!
What was that like? That must have been crazy. The videos look crazy.
No, it's like you on awe. You like damn, like you stuck the whole time like looking at this shit like damn, it's crazy. Because like I always like especially after the Tupac hologram, people like, bro, they gotta have a Eazy-E hologram come out with Bone. I always thought that would be damn near impossible unless they had the money or something to do it, somebody big or whatever to do it, help them do it, but it ended up happening. So like, that was dope. And that happened. That was actually the last Rock the Bells. They were supposed to continue on to the East Coast, but they had stopped. So then I don't know what the fuck happened. But that was the last time.
It's wild to me that you were such an Eazy-E fan. You've been in the Straight Outta Compton film. You saw the Eazy-E hologram, and that's no easy thing. That is a one-time fucking deal to see the Eazy-E hologram. You're signed by Crazy Bone, a member of the last fucking group that Eazy-E signed. When I talk about people being again the more I do this, the more I find that it's all connected. It's all one big, family. When Bone talks about it being a family, it's all one big, family. You had said, hey, I'm still with them. I still see those guys. Are you now not considered a life artist? I mean, what happened there that kind of like made the separation in terms of like you actually being on the roster?
Right. So yeah, like to the fans and everything, because there was so many fucking artists, bro. Like caused like a lot of confusion. And, like people were like asking Craig, like, hey, who's official, who's not, and shit. And it was just like a lot of people and like a lot of shit going on. So like it just got narrowed down, but everybody went their ways, but we just kept going with it. But I'm still around, but. I'm not an artist, official artist, but like I'm considered family like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good.
Yeah. No, that's dope because unfortunately with what I do talk to a few people that people will consider bitter. Shutter seems very positive about his experience with Bone, which I love to hear.
You want to know something? Like I see it as this, bro. Like it's like an educational thing. It's like going to a high school. Like I'm a Bone Thug like alumni. It's like going to a school to me. Like it's like because you see like different waves of Bone. Like they artists like whole different waves. 10 years from now it's gonna be a whole another wave and another wave of artists. It's just like man, I see it as an experience and shit. Like I learned a lot from that shit. Like,
I agree. This is the type of thing that. Even after Bone, there's gonna be guys that are coming in like you're saying. Like Bone won't even be rapping, and because of Bloodline Harmony and the guys carrying it, I mean we're gonna see this continue for for years past even Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, man. Even like with Bloodline, man. Like that's fam right there too. Shout out to Bloodline Harmony. My nigga Lil Busy. Like even before, I ain't gonna take credit on it. I'm just gonna say this shit. But even before, you know what I'm saying, Lil Busy did his solo shit. I was like telling this nigga like, bro. I was like, I know you're not a solo artist, and like, no, you have to be solo, but like if you tour as Lil Busy or Lil Busy Bone and all that shit, bro, like you'll get like hella love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't just living like off his pop shit, but like he got the talent too. And that's what me being an artist, I always wondered, because you know I'm damn near the same age as some of the kids. I always wondered like why aren't the kids touring with them like how the Marleys, you know, they bring their kids on tour and their grandkids are touring with them. Like, why isn't it like that? Now it's starting to get like that. And there's no time, you know what I'm saying? I know that take time, but now we're, you know, the 25 years into Bone, so this is like the perfect time, bro. Like, man, perfect time. Everything coming out perfect.
I agree. I think we're really at that chapter with Bone Thugs and Harmony where they do want to do exactly what you said. It's gonna become like the Marleys, you know, and they're just at that age. They were not ready before. They're at that place now. I just saw pictures of like Crazy Bone's son, you know, just like hanging out with him at the studio or something. So we're about to see that. Yeah. Shout out to Tierra, man. But yeah, I know her since I was young. That's Crazy Bone's daughter. Shout out to her. Yeah, like everybody, like all the kids are doing their thing. Like the Bone kids are like, I've been waiting to see this shit. Like I'm glad it's happening. Like it should be like years to come. Like they're gonna have to like take charge. As far as Shudder right now, 2018, you know. What do you want the fans to know about you? Where can they find you? And besides the documentary, what can they expect coming up, you know, from Shudder in 2018 and going forward past then? Because I know you're a big plan guy. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. You know, keep working, man. Like it's longevity. You know, I was just with Bootsy Collins and shit. Like, you know, he's like damn near 70, and like I see like he's still going. People still like lining up to meet him. So. I just got to stay relevant, man. Like keep going. 2018, you know, of course, dropping the documentary. I'm dropping an EP called it's gonna be an LP called Eternity. The name Eternity, you know, basically, you know, pays homage to like the whole like NWA family name, from you know the Easy E part, the Eternal, like. You know, my real name is Elijah, you know, so the E, like, it all, like, plays like that. I'm dropping that, and me and my cousins, you know, we have our collective, Star Nation, based out of San Francisco. We just dropped our most recent project, Nation for Life. And y'all go hear that, Apple Music. We're going to be working on a whole nother project and, you know, just keep dropping shit. And where can fans reach out and you know, hear your music or even speak with you? Where's the best social media and how can they find you? You can find me on Instagram at SNGMB Shutter, SHUTTER. On Instagram, also on Twitter under the same name, and yeah. Hit me up, man. Like, if y'all got anything y'all want to know, just hit me up. Like, I always respond to everybody. I ain't Hollywood or nothing like that. It's all good. Yeah, he's got 2 great YouTube pages as well. If you guys just search Shudder or Shudder Boy, you'll find those. Like I said, there's some really great, you know, older footage of him with Bone. Some good behind-the-scenes stuff, some good interviews. Busy Bone talking about Rock the Bells and Shudder Boy. So there's some really good stuff on there as well. And I will say, just like you said, he's very receptive. the kid knows a lot for being a young dude. I'm so impressed with, you know, your knowledge of the game and just hip-hop history. I got to give you props on that as well. The motherfuckers your age, it's not really cool to know your history and to give props to the dudes that got you here. It's a real disrespectful time in hip-hop, but you seem to really pay that homage to hip-hop. So, you know, props to you for that, Shutter. You got any shout-outs or anything else you want to let people know before we wrap up with you?
Man, I was just interviewed longer, man. But hey, man, I definitely come back though. No, but shout out to you know, the whole Bone family, all the fans out there. You know what I'm saying? That's out there like keeping this shit alive. Like everybody. You know, shout out all my family out there in the Bay Area, Star Nation, my cousins, man. Shout out to everybody out there in Cleveland. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all, you know what I'm saying, for having me. And you know what I'm saying, even putting this whole thing together, because trust me, like this shit's going to take off, and years to come, like, people are going to come back to Beyond the Harmony to listen to all this shit. Like, this shit's going to go on forever, bro. Like, sorry, y'all really smart for doing this.
Hey, we want to thank you for that, man. That's really what we're hoping. We're hoping that we can catalog something big, and we're hoping that we have something that goes for years, so that when we interview you today and a year from now when we have Shutter on, you know, we can talk about all the things that you've accomplished this year. So we're hoping to really have a running going, you know, a thing that's running and will give a platform for all these artists that we're working with, like yourself. So it's you know, it gives you guys a place to always reach the fans.
Yes, sir. Hey, real quick, man, I forgot about Paul. I got to shout out my parents, my mom and dad, man, and my Miss Marie. I got to shout out Typhoon, Reese Maddox, man, everybody, man. Shout out to Dick Terrell, Sim Marley, everybody, Position, everybody.
And hey, you gotta let your mom. You gotta let your mom know. We got to get her on the show too, man. We're gonna have to get her on too. She's got a story.
Yeah, just let me know, man. Like, and my mom, like, she's very well connected to the industry, man. Like, she helped like with major and like indie labels. You know, she's also a radio promoter. You know what I'm saying? She's another radio air personality. You know, the whole urban top 40 radio thing. So yeah, like, all the upcoming artists or even artists that's established, hit her up. Her track record is crazy.
Yeah, well, I will definitely be in touch. We'll get her back on. And hey, like I said, we're gonna get you back on here. Once again, Shutter, I want to thank you for coming on to Beyond the Harmony, being our guest here tonight, man. And we'll be speaking with you again soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. All love, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank you.
Much
Peace
love.
out.
Hell yeah.
Shutter boy. Shutter.
Yeah.
Shutting it down.
Hey, I feel like, you know what's cool about doing that interview is, you know, when we were talking about having like Capone, we were like, hey, this is the first, you know, Mo Thug that we had. Shutter's the first TL artist that we had on the show.
Yeah.
You
know? And every single show we do, we discover something unanticipated that we didn't know. I'm going to be on the hunt for those static electricity promo items he was talking about. That's incredible.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. I also thought it was like, because like I said, I don't know, you know, if that the fans just don't know it and maybe I missed it or what, but that was all news to me. Crazy directing an unreleased music video. You know, that's a fucking big deal. I think, you know, the part about his mom, that's a big deal. You know, just every interview you find out something. And again, this is shit. You couldn't ask Crazy Bone some of that stuff. He's not, you know, going to remember every little detail. That's stuff that you can only get from Shutter. That's the point of this, is to find out every detail. Every time I'm impressed, man. I was really pumped. I really like that kid because, you know, like I said at the end, he's classic. You know, he likes that classic shit. He looks like he belongs in NWA right now.
Yeah, I really loved his. If anybody out there goes and looks up his album covers, the Rhyme Hard album cover is kind of like a play on of an Ice-T album cover, and then the Cream mixtape is like a double reference, Cream being Wu-Tang in the name, but then the actual album cover for Cream is like a play on of Dr. Dre's The Chronic, and the Better Off Alone and Twerking and Swinging, I didn't really notice anything there, but it was just cool that he had throwbacks to legends like Dr. Dre and Ice-T. You know, that lets you know that he knows his history. And for old timers like us, you know, it's good to see the younger guys knowing about the history. So I always appreciate that.
I always hate when it's some little young motherfucker that's like talking shit about like Tupac or something. I'm just like, go fucking hang yourself. So to see a kid that's like, you know, to see a kid that's like homage to Eazy-E, and you know, he's not out there like, he's just like, I want to be in Straight Outta Compton and see the Eazy-E hologram. I'm like, that's a cool motherfucker. Eazy-E, the death of Eazy-E. I asked him at the beginning, John, how is music, you know, different if Eazy-E was still here? And bro, I'm telling you right now, after watching videos today and knowing that the possibility was there for Tupac to go to Ruthless at one point, if Eazy-E was still here, if Eazy-E was still alive, if Tupac would have made it, if Tupac would have gone to Ruthless, you know, these are the what ifs that you can ask forever. But motherfucker, could you just imagine? Could you just imagine if Tupac would have ended up with Eazy-E at Ruthless? Holy shit.
Yeah, and with Tretch as well, you know. And Shutter was talking about hearing Eazy-E 5150 Home for the Sick as like the first Eazy album he had heard. And you know, I think Tretch had a big hand in assisting in some of the writing on that. You could tell on that first track on the album. But just imagine Tretch, Tupac, Eazy-E, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and BG Knockout and Drister. That would have been just the idea of Tretch and Pac and Eazy. That would have been something else. And today, if Eazy was alive, if he hadn't died, he'd be turning 54 years old this year. I think he'd currently be 53 because I think his birthday's in September. But I'm not sure about that. But he'd be turning 54 this year. And the other part too is just that, thinking real quick, is there's trade-offs. You know, the Time Machine. If Eazy had lived, would Bone have been as big? You know, there's trade-offs. Like I wouldn't trade Bone's success for Eazy's life. That's kind of crazy to say, but you know what I mean? Like, you just wonder if Bone would have gone that big. You know what I mean? If Eazy was, they might have gone bigger, but the timeline things wouldn't played out the way they played out.
Let me tell you right now, we don't know that they would have been bigger. They could have been mediocre and washed away, and here's why. I read an interview today. It said that Eazy heard a few songs, you know, that Crazy didn't believe that he heard the whole Eternal, because by the time it was done, he was way in the hospital, but that he heard Mr. Bill Collector, he heard the original Crossroads, something else. The Crossroads was remixed because Eazy-E fucking died, okay? Yeah. DJ Unique, biggest song they have, and it's what moved them. You can say whatever you want, anybody can debate it. Up until the Crossroads, Bone wasn't megastars, okay? They were one hit away from being megastars. They were, you know, without a hit, they could have been fucking nobody. They could have been nobody by the time the 90s were over. The Crossroads solidified them forever and ever and ever and ever. And the question has to be, if Eternal came out and it was just the original version that we know with Crossroads, and that's the way that always went, meaning the big single was first of the month, you know, what happens then? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do they get to this point? Tough saying. I will say, compare them to a lot of your favorite 90s acts, and, you know, there's very few that are here right now.
There's so many dominoes in these theories, because it's like, what if Eazy didn't die? What if Tupac didn't die? What if Biggie didn't die? Like all these deaths all changed the course of history. And you know what's crazier too is now we've heard about the spirit of Eazy-E influencing Capone as well as Shutter tonight. The spirit of Eazy-E made the Crossroads. You know, you felt it there. It was like it was his gift to humanity, really, to give us Bone Thugs and Harmony to be an everlasting group. But it's like his life embodied the Crossroads and gave it. It was like the rose that grew from the grave. There's something special about the Crossroads that everybody knows, and you always see that hologram, not the hologram, but that image of Eazy in the video, and it just kind of like chokes you up, and it's just what he gave, you know.
I know the one for everybody is the one for him up in the sky, but I'm telling you, as everybody's heard the story about how I heard the Crossroads and the babysitter and all that, and without, you know, I was too fucking, you know, really young to be knowing Eazy-E like that. In fact, I might not have even known Eazy-E shit, but the hologram, or not hologram, the cutout during the Crossroads when they're walking up, you know, up the mountain, and they use a cutout from one of the Eazy-E videos, and it looks like Eazy-E's just kind of like nodding to the camera and getting ready to take his place in the line. As a young dude, without even knowing the significance of Eazy-E, it had a massive impact on me, on how I felt about the video. What that video, you know, I I don't give that video its props all the time because I'm so fucking sick of the song. I know that's like sacrilegious to say as a Bone fan. I don't give a fuck. I'm way over ever hearing it again. But when I fucking see the video, I'm like, this video is amazing on a different fucking level that is untouchable when you really think about it. And that scene impacted me without even knowing why it was impacting me. That's that Eazy-E spirit, bro.
Yeah, it's the greatest tribute song of all time. You know, it's been, since it happened, it's been imitated and duplicated by so many, but that was like the all-time RIP track. The imagery in that video with the Grim Reaper guy, and when he touches the other guy's head and his eyes turn black, and there's just so much imagery going on in that video that it's beyond iconic, and it's everybody that saw it. It's in everybody's subconscious the rest of your life, and in fact, it probably shaped, you know, people's. You know, you hear about it playing at funerals all the time, and it's probably shaped people's perspective of transitioning into the next life or the next world, the next realm. So the impact across, and I remember Fat Joe talking about it when he saw the video. He's like, "Man, how come I don't get a video like that?" to I think it was Relativity, but Crossroads is like a moment in time. Not just for Bone Thugs and Harmony, but for rap history. And then at the it was the award show when they came in on the horses. That was like one of the best moments in, you know, music award history. So.
Yeah, that was amazing. And just on the Grim Reaper part, if anybody knows who played the Angel of Death in the Crossroads, like the fucking name, drop that in the comments, because I want to interview that guy. That's what this show is about. I want to interview the fucking guy that was the fucking Angel of Death in the Crossroads.
Yeah, just to know that dude haunts everybody. Like, that his image is in everybody's mind. And he's just haunting, man. But he was like, it was like, he was a kind angel of death. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like, hey, you know, your time's up kind of thing. So, man, yeah, Crossroads, Eazy-E, and, you know, when I was on my Busy Bone journey, Odyssey in California, I didn't even know this was gonna happen. We ended up going to Eazy-E's grave, and that was just a shock and a half. We all didn't know where his grave was, and I found it. I was like, man, I gotta find this grave first to do it for the E. I brought my Bone Thugs and Harmony hat, and then I found it, and we shot a scene at his grave, and I don't even know when that's coming out, if it's ever gonna come out. But after we shot the whole scene, I went. Like, everything was happening so fast, and then when I got in the car, this like wave of emotion just overcame me, and like just the reality of the moment just made me just crazy emotional. And then Busy Bone came in the car. I was like, man, what's wrong with this kid? But it was I mean, he kind of like just let me have my own moment, but it was just like at that moment I thought about how big of an impact Eazy-E had on my whole entire life. I started listening to Eazy when I was 8 or 9 years old. It was 1988, 89. I'm like 9, and I was like, man, this guy's been a part of my life, the soundtrack to my life for over 25 years. And he brought me my favorite rap group, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and it's just like my whole life flashed. My whole like hip hop life, rap life flashed before me right after seeing his grave, and it was just that's a moment that will be with me forever in my life. And I'm blessed that I had that opportunity to even go to the grave. I had no idea that was even going to happen, but it was a phenomenal experience. Shout out to Brother Clay.
Never mind going there with fucking Busy Bone, for Busy Bone to see Eazy, to be there with Busy Bone. Never mind being there and seeing, where Eazy-E's buried, because that's that's a feeling all its own. And I haven't been there, but I was just literally standing on the spot where Tupac got shot in Las Vegas, and you can feel it. If you know what it is, if you're just standing there, you feel it, and you have no idea. If you know what it is, you know what the feeling is. I'm sure it's the same feeling standing at Eazy-E's grave. Never mind with Busy Bone, because Busy Bone, he lets off so many waves himself, that it must have been unbelievable to stand there with him and just watch him go through, that feeling.
Yeah, it didn't even seem real. It was mind blowing. And you know what else was funny was there was a bunch of roaches and smoked up joints around his grave, and a few beer bottles, 40s. Actually there was no 40s, but there was like odes. It looked like a few people blessed his grave, and I made sure to leave my Bone Thugs and Harmony hat sitting on there. I think it was a Raiders hat. You could see that other people came and had their ceremonies to respect the life of Eazy Eric Wright E. And to be there with Busy Bone, and not only with Busy, but just with everybody else too. Everybody knew the moment. Aaron DeSell was there, XL Beats, Rego, and the director Raleigh, and obviously Clay, and we all knew the significance of the moment, and we were all just thankful to be with Busy Bone and to say our piece for Eazy-E. It was miraculous. Amazing time. And today is the celebration of his last day here, and it was cool too, the numerology that was on Eternal, where they counted the amount of days that he had lived. And
I've always been curious whose idea that was, that whole the R.I.P. Eazy, because motherfucker, you don't see it now, but motherfucker, that thing was everywhere for a while. You saw that thing like it was the parental advisory. I've always wondered who came up with that. We have a board that John and I have in private where we put these really random questions like that, so I'm gonna have to add that, even though it's not like a Bone thing. It's Eazy-E. Eazy's Eazy's like the sixth member of Bone. So I've always wondered who the fuck made that. And who just came up with the idea of, hey, we should put the numbers of how long Eazy walked the earth.
Yeah, and we were looking at that 8888 video today, and it never dawned on me that Eazy, like Tupac, had songs like 24 Hours to Live, and he left little hints and clues, and you almost wonder, you hope, hopefully Eazy hopefully he faked his death. I mean, there's no theories about that, but he left a lot of clues. And I had done that Ouija board, the Eternal album cover with the map, and I remember in the 90s when you called that number, it was Eazy-E's voice, and I heard it around the time Art of War came out, because I was going to DNA level C websites, and they had the breakdown of it, and I called the number, and it was Eazy-E on the phone, and man, my stomach dropped. I mean, I knew it was a recording, but the fact that they went to the efforts to have that recording, and that recording, if you heard it, if you've seen the video, it was cryptic as heck, and I was too young to fully understand what he was talking about. But I knew it was some deep stuff, and it was spooky. It was that Eazy-E spookiness. It was creepy. I hung up. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And he just had that way. He knew the mind of people, what people wanted to hear, what they wanted to see, and how how to play the role, and he was phenomenal.
So, R.I.P. Eazy-E, the godfather of gangster rap. Well, hey, we wouldn't have this podcast without Eazy-E.
That was what blew me away when after it all happened. I got back in the car and all the dots connected. Eazy-E created history through death, and his spirit. There's got to be something to that. It's hard to believe his life just ended that day. I mean, his physical body might have ended, but his soul, his spirit. There's no doubt it didn't. His spirit lived on, and not just through others. His actual spirit. That's my belief. To this day, I still think he's somewhere in the sky, in our sky, not the heaven sky, both in heaven, but as well as earth skies. Somehow, I know it.
I'm just gonna tell you guys, if you want to listen to the Crossroads today for Easy, there's a version called the Alexander remix. It's an official remix. It was on a Crossroads promo CD that came out. And if anybody's got that fucking CD, it's rare as shit. Holler at your boy. I'd love to talk about it. But it's really dope. There's a DJ at the beginning cutting up like a young kid, like saying easy. So Alexander remix, play one for Eazy-E today. R.I.P. Eazy-E. Before we wrap up, I want to shout out everybody that's always making it happen for BeyondTheHarmony.com. We got, dude, so many affiliates and teammates at this point that I gotta keep a fucking list. So I'm just gonna jump into it first, right out the gate. Shane, bookathugs.com. I can't wait. He's working on his site. That's going to be dropping later this year. So bookathugs.com, loyalbonefans.com, thugsandharmony.com. Great message board. They help provide questions, for a lot of our interviews. Of course, my boy, Bone Thugs, NL. In fact, that Crossroads Alexander remix, if you're going to try to find it, I'm pretty sure Bone Thugs NL is the only motherfucker that has it on YouTube. So make sure you check out Bone Thugs NL. Also, BT&H board. BT&H board, we posted it up there. We got some questions for this interview and our next one from BT&H board. So shout out to BT&H board. Also, shout out to the newest affiliate that we picked up, Bone Thug Fans Worldwide. That group's got over... I think it's got over 3,000 people at this point. So it's a really big group. Michael Downing started that. He's also part of the Beyond the Harmony group. And he started that back in 2014 and now actually has over 3,500 members. So shout out as well to Bone Thug Fans Worldwide, all helping BeyondTheHarmony.com. Do what we do, man, whether it's them sharing what we do, supporting what we do. Some of them have helped hooked us up, with future interviews. So it's unity in the community, and that's what we're striving to bring back to the Bone community, is that unity that John and I experienced so long ago. So shout out to all our motherfucking affiliates.
And we got a new shout out as well. Shout out to the greatest Bone cover artist on the internet, Feenics Ryzin. Want to definitely shout that out.
Feenics Rising is about to wrap up the theme music to Beyond the Harmony, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm more excited to have Feenics Rising do it than I would be to have a Bone artist, and I'll tell you why. Feenics Rising's one of us, man. She's fucking one of us, and she's been on stage with them, and I'm in the same boat. I'm a fan. I worked hard. I've been on stage with Busy Bone. She's one of us, man. So it's good to have her doing our theme.
And not only that, when we were thinking about when we wanted to have a theme song, when we were like brainstorming, I was like, I know there's an artist out there that embodies everything Beyond the Harmony is about, and I was like, it's that girl, man. And then looked her, found her, and so it's the perfect fit, along with Aaron Purnell doing the perfect fit for the guy that brought the ancient art of the art of bone back, along
Yeah.
with Feenics Ryzin representing the brand and giving something to it. It's a beautiful thing.
If you guys have seen, Aaron recently did just a re-render of our logo, and I always love to like look at all the different versions of the Bone logo, and I love that we're starting to have so many different versions of the Beyond the Harmony logo. Aaron's logo totally reminds me of like BT&H Resurrection, except for Beyond the Harmony. That's on our Instagram, our group, our Facebook. So shout out to Creative Highway Design, Feenics Rising, every down affiliate that we have. John, it's been a good one. I think that's it. You got anything else?
I got plenty, but we'll save it for next time. And definitely shouts to Shudder for coming on the show and giving us another great episode. So
yeah, shit. I'm gonna make sure to put some of his links in the description as well. Make sure you guys check out Shudder. Again, I like Shudder because he's not just an ex-affiliate. He's active. He's working right now. He's got music dropping. So if you like the guys that have supported Bone and been with Bone and worked with Bone, and you want to see them keep going, make sure you get out there. He's on DatPiff, and I'll drop all his links in. Until next time, I'm Cecil West.
And I'm John Lippy.
And this was another episode of Thug Thursday, BeyondTheHarmony.com, and we are out.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join us. Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate.